Hey guys, welcome back. How's it going? Today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. As you guys know, I'm trying to do some better things for this channel, and one of the ways that I'm doing that is I am looking to add more information to my channels. So, I think we'll start at the beginning. In 1985, Rankin and Bass released the show Thundercats. Now, as a kid, I watched that show quite a bit growing up. It came out the year that I moved from Pittsfield to Southwick. So that was a very transitional year for me, and that was something that moved from one place to another with me. So it held a lot of memories. It kind of kept me feeling good about what was going on in a tumultuous time when, I was just finding out that I was going to have a little sister. I had moved from my hometown to a new place. I was starting a new school. There was a lot of stuff going on, so cartoons were one way I could escape, and certain cartoons I liked a lot more than others. Thundercats was one of them. I have gone back since becoming an adult and watched some of it. I'm actually currently working on finishing up the first season right now. And as an adult, I have noticed that there are some things that I never noticed as a kid, or maybe were just over my head as a kid. And I'd like to discuss some of those things right now. This is 10 things that you probably only notice as an adult watching Thundercats. So here we go. We're going to start with the most blatant one, which I think has been covered a lot on a bunch of different channels as well as a lot of articles. But it's the simple fact that all of our characters begin nude. We have three what look to be prepubescent anthropomorphic cats in Lionel, Whily, Kitt, and Whily Cat. So 2 boys and a girl, all of whom are naked. And then we have the adults, Panthro, Tigra, and Chitara, who are also all naked. What's the impetus behind this? Why do we need naked Thundercats? So naked Thundercats. It's a thing. The second thing that I happen to notice is Chitara, in some instances, tends to act a little thirsty in today's vernacular, or she's looking for something, and she seems to have it for Lionel. When we first see Lionel, he's a prepubescent boy, seemingly, and Chitara kind of is a little bit, not maternal toward him, but she seems to have some kind of affection toward him. Then after landing on Third Earth, finding out that his cryo tube, something happened or something, and he has aged to maturity physically, but mentally he's still a kid, Chitara looks at him and mentions what a nice body he's got, and kind of has a vivacious look in her eyes. So I don't know what's going on there. So this one here kind of gets me every time. You're leaving your planet. Your planet is being destroyed, so you and your entire race are leaving. You've got multiple ships going everywhere. Your flagship, the ship that has all of your nobility, contains only 6. Well, let's call it 8 because of Jaga and Snarf. Jaga's too old, and Snarf is not the same species. So their thoughts on leaving this, why would you have your nobility with no kind of protection, no extra guards or anything like that? Why would your nobility not have their family with them and things like that? Why are they there alone? Why is it only the 8 of them on that ship? And if something did happen, which it does, how are they planning on repopulating their species if this was the only ship that was to make it? Obviously, you need genetic diversity to repopulate a species, and with 2 females and 4 males, you don't have enough genetic diversity to not have inbreeding as an immediate problem. So, and maybe I'm looking at that too far as a, but maybe I'm looking at it as too much of an adult since this was a kid's show. But still, there's that question of, if your whole planet is being destroyed, you need to preserve your race. The best way to do so is make sure that each and every ship has the genetic diversity to, if they make it to a planet, be able to repopulate your species and make sure that it continues on. Apparently, this was just glossed over. This one always frustrated me. It frustrated me as a kid. I believe I kind of remember questioning this more than once when I was a child, but as an adult, I saw it even more. What happened to all the mutants? When we first see the mutants attacking the ships, there's one mutant ship, and we have Slive, Monkeyan, and Jackalman all on it, and they all seem to be like generals of their own specific race of mutant, and they have their own kind following behind them. So the Jackalman has other jackal-like creatures who are at his command. Slive has other reptilians. Monkeyan has other beastmen. So when we get to Third Earth, they're still there. But all of a sudden, in the next episode, all we see from the rest of that point on is Slive, Monkeyan, Jackalman, and eventually we get a few other characters sprinkled in. But what happened to all these hordes of men that they had working under them during that whole time? Did they just disappear? Alright. Is it just me or is Jaga a pervert? Like I said, we're on a ship with 3 kids and 3 adults. All of them are naked, but yet Jaga's got clothes on? What makes him better than everybody else? Why does he get to wear clothes and everybody else has to go around naked? This is the nobility of the Thundercats. Why are they walking around naked? Now, the explanation when he gives them their special clothing is that they didn't need it on Thundera. So if they didn't need it on Thundera, why did he? If all Thunderans walk around naked, why is Jaga wearing clothes? Is he just some kind of pervert? What the hell's up with that? As a kid, I remember having Cat's Lair, or seeing Cat's Lair playset. I don't think I actually owned it, but I remember seeing the playset and wanting it. And I remember watching the show, and even still, I watch the show now as I'm watching it again as an adult. And I wonder, you've got 6 people. Why the hell is Cat's Lair so freaking big? It's cut out of the side of a mountain with a huge moat, a drawbridge. It's big enough to hold the tank. It's like probably 20 or 30 times bigger than the ship that they made it to Third Earth in. What the hell do they need all that room for when there's only 6 of them? What the hell? Okay, I know this is a kid's show, and part of the thing is trying to teach a lesson. But they blatantly show Tigra doing drugs. He's chasing after a worm, and somehow finds this weird tunnel, and in that tunnel he finds a little grotto, and in that grotto is Silky, who is Mum-Ra in disguise, obviously. But Silky offers him fruit. As soon as he eats the fruit, he starts growing plants. He's able to fly. And then as soon as he's done, he demands more. And he'll do anything for this fruit. That's drugs. I don't know what cartoon you guys are watching, but now that I'm adult, I know that Tigra was high as hell. So Lionel. Lionel is the Lord of the Thundercats. His heredity, his father Claudius was the prior Lord of the Thundercats, so Lionel is going to inherit that throne. He's a child as Thundera's breaking up and being blown up. They go into their cryo sleep, and when they reach Third Earth, Lionel is a full-grown adult. At least, body-wise, he's a full-grown adult. Mentally, he's still the 12-year-old boy that went into that pod. So, Cheetara having a thing for him being the leader of this entire race of people, he's 12 years old. How can he make rational decisions that are going to help his race? He's 12. At 12, I could barely handle making sure that I was up for school and out to work and everything that I was doing. Never mind leading an entire race of people. Something's going on here. Okay, so I know they look like they're kids, and I know up to this point I've said prepubescent, but why would Whily Kitt and Whily Cat be considered nobles and part of this whole thing as only children. Obviously, their parents would probably be the ones who would be the nobility. Like Lionel's father, Claudius, is actually the nobility, but Claudius had some issues and was no longer able to rule properly and had Jaga rule in his stead until Lionel came of age. So therefore, Lionel being there and being the ruler of the Thundercats makes sense. But Whily, Kitt, and Cat, if they're kids, makes no sense at all. Why would kids be put on this ship? Why would they be considered nobility and their parents not? So obviously, they must be adults. Now, through a lot of research, I have found out that they are supposed to be adult versions. It's just their particular species of cat does not grow as big as the other ones. So therefore, even though they act more juvenile, and they're often referred to as kittens, their particular species just does not grow any bigger. So we're led to believe they're children, but in fact, in the continuity of the show, they're supposed to be adults. I don't know. And, of course, how could we do a list about things that adults notice and kids may not without bringing up the fact that what is called Third Earth is not because it's the third in line from the sun. It's our Earth. It's the third age of our Earth. The first age, as we find throughout the series, was the age of man, the age that we are currently in. Mum-Ra talks about it. Mum-Ra is the only human left on Earth at this point who would remember that time. So, Third Earth is Earth just in a much further progressed age where all humans have died off and there's new species inhabiting the Earth, as well as interdimensional travel has happened. So there are, or intergalactic travel I should say, has happened, so therefore we're getting a lot of new alien species coming to what is Earth. Being that it's a habitable planet, it's understandable. So anyways, those are 10 things that probably only adults would really notice in the Thundercats. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I find all these things a little bit hard to swallow. But again, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. If you haven't already, click the like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead, subscribe. This is the kind of stuff I like to do, fun videos like this. You'll enjoy it. And while you're here, if you did both of those things, why don't you go over and click that notification icon? That'll let you know anytime I upload new content, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you later. Ozzy out. Bye.